How does somebody like you, from your lens, how do you view today's economy and what's taking place?
Well, first of all, the reason I wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad was because I knew this time was coming. And we have, as a world, have never been here before. And so is it a spooky time? Damn yeah. It is probably the most dangerous time ever, 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 ever. So plus with social media and all this we're doing now. And so we've never been here before. And, I'm excited about it because I make more money in crashes than I do when they go up. So, but for the average person, they'll get wiped out. I'm afraid at the worst, I hope I'm wrong, but I think we're heading for a global depression.
Global depression?
Yeah.
What does that look like?
Depression. I mean, people are depressed. Australia hasn't had a recession in 30 years. It's in recession. But Americans are fat, dumb, and happy, having a good time, which is good. But I'm concerned. That's all I can say. I'd be afraid if I had kids.
You'd be afraid about having kids today?
If I had kids. No. I think as an adult, you can go hungry, but you don't want to see your kids go hungry. And that's what's going to happen.
You think it's going to get that bad? Let me ask you this. What is the biggest factor that's going to cause that?
Well, the reason I wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad is the U.S. dollar. That's my book over there, Fake, which came out last year. Fake money, fake teachers, fake assets. And the U.S. dollar is fake. Never in the history of the world has any fake money ever survived. And we're doing the same thing. I said savers would be losers. Now, today there's quantitative easing, which is counterfeiting money. And then you have zero interest rates. And people are still saving money. Are you nuts? They just printed, I think, $500 billion in September of this year because the repo market is going down. And the average guy goes, well, what's the repo market? They don't know. So that's why it's fake money, fake teachers, fake assets. U.S. Air, same thing. Look at what's going on in Paris today as we talk. They're rioting. Millions of people are rioting because of pensions. Japan, they're rioting because of pensions.
Terrible.
And what I see going on in the world is disturbing. I was just in Argentina, and I took my kid brother there. And he came back a changed man. He says, you weren't kidding, were you? I said, no, I wasn't. My brother could not believe that what happened in Argentina is going to happen here.
It's terrible.
So I think most people are at least kind of tuned in. I hope it doesn't come down, but I'm afraid it will. That's what I have to say. But I want to say what you did was really, really smart, because the best time to start a business is right after a crash. I made more money after 2008 than ever in my whole entire life because everybody was hiding like little cockroaches.
I just don't know 6 years from now, but I do know 4 or 5 years from now. What would you say something like that?
So will you guarantee it?
Absolutely not.
See, I'm not in the stock market, so I'm not the guy to ask. And I just don't trust the market because it's so manipulative. In 10 years, 2030, 2 billion baby boomers across the world will retire. Japan's broke. Argentina's broke. China's broke. Italy's broke.